I hope you're ready because we are live. So right now I'm going live on Instagram and on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, all four at the same time. And I want to share some really important information with you today about how to improve your spoken English. And improving your spoken English is so important. It's important to learn reading and writing, and it's important to learn listening, definitely. But speaking is really the skill that is going to make the language the most useful for you. So learning speaking, lets you do more things, basically. Now, of course, reading, writing, and listening also help you do many things, and they're all connected. So we can't really talk about one without the others. But we can see that one really important part of speaking is listening. Being able to understand the people who you're communicating with. It's really, really important. So if you can't understand the people who you're communicating with, how are you ever going to be able to speak back to them, right? Because you need to understand what they're saying. This can be really tricky, really difficult to do. So today we're going to talk about how to improve your spoken English. And I've also shared a link with you in the description to this video on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on LinkedIn. There's a link that I've shared in the description that will give you access to my free seminar. So this is something that you can get from the description to this video. But today we're going to talk about how you can improve your spoken English, and I'm going to share a lot of the steps that you might want to follow. And it looks like we're having some difficulties over here on Instagram with the connection. So we'll try to figure that out. So first of all, I want to let you know that during this video today, you can write your comments. You can write your comments in the chat, and I will answer some of your questions about English. It's not going to be just me speaking. I want to answer you. And then later, I will invite someone to join us. Now, I have a limit. Only 10 people can join me live. Only 10 people can join me live. So I'm going to send the link to join me a little bit later. If you want to speak to me face-to-face right now, then you can join and we can speak. But right now, I'm going to answer a few questions from the chat. I see lots of people joining us. Hi from Malaysia, Kyrgyzstan, let's see, Brazil, Somalia, Azerbaijan. All right, great. So on Instagram, we have a lot of people from a lot of places. And I see over on YouTube and on Facebook also. This is great. Bosnia, Cambodia, Ukraine. Awesome. So how do you improve your spoken English if we focus just on speaking? Because yes, listening is an important part of speaking, but speaking is a separate thing by itself, right? It's a special skill that we need to learn. So how can we focus on speaking? Well, of course, the main thing to say, the easiest thing to say is that we need to speak more, right? That's the easy answer here. We need to speak more. But we can do a few things to help our spoken English be the best that it can possibly be. One of those things that we can do is we can practice listening. So it's not only listening to the TV or to the radio, but we need to practice listening to real people speaking. Now, listening, by practicing your listening skills like you're doing right now, right? You're listening to me. By practicing your listening skills, you will actually be able to improve your writing skills too. Because there are different situations when people write a language, right? And one of those situations, not one, but some of those situations are formal and some are informal. So if we think about formal writing situations, they don't happen very often in our lives. Most of the writing that we do today, especially on the internet, is informal. the style of writing is informal. And what that really means, informal writing is much closer to spoken English. It's much closer to the spoken version of the language. So it's very different. And just by listening to more people speak the language, you can start to understand why people might write something in a different way, or why there might be a slang word, what that word means, right? All right, I see in the chat, Wishka says, I speak alone and no one corrects me, haha. Yeah, it's a crazy idea, right? A lot of people say, go look in the mirror and practice speaking to yourself. I think that's not the right answer, right? The right answer is you just need to be able to have speaking partners anytime. Just find a way to have a place where you can just go and there's a speaking partner, there's a teacher, just, the resource. Just find that thing that you need. It might be a school. It might be a place where you walk physically and you go there and you sit down and you learn, and the people around you are learning and the teacher's teaching you, right? And this is one way that you could do that. And then you usually need to schedule this. Another way that you can do that is you could find a program online where there's speaking partners from all over the world, but all of those people are focused on speaking English, on practicing their spoken English. And professional teachers are there too. So that's also a way that you could solve this problem, right? You could find this resource where any time of the day you can practice speaking. So that's another solution. Okay, Fabian says, I have a problem with basic grammar, especially to form correct sentences. And I have a problem speaking English because I have to translate first and then speak the word. Yeah, so Fabian, a lot of people think that there's going to be like a magic answer that a really good teacher is going to find for this. But it's really just a combination of different different skills that you have to learn by practicing. It's different skill sets, right? So you have a problem with basic grammar, forming correct sentences. Okay, so sentence structure. What's the structure of a sentence? Typically, we have subject, verb, object in English. This means the person who does the action, then the action, and then the person who receives, who gets the action, right? So we say, I see you, you see me. And we can't change these words in the sentence because these words tell us, they help us understand which of these words is the subject of the sentence and which one is the object. And this is part of sentence structure. So this is like the very, very basic idea of sentence structure in English. Many sentences follow this basic pattern, but it becomes more complicated when you want to say more things. So this is a different skill, right? There isn't a magic answer to learning, to remembering sentence structure. And especially if your language, and if in your language, words have special endings or words can change what kind of grammar they are, what part of speech they are, then you don't have to move the words, right? In English, and in English, you have to have this sentence structure to help us understand what kind of word it is. So this is something that just takes practice because it's just a rule to remember, or several rules. Okay, the next one is I have problems speaking English. I have to translate first and then speak the word. Yeah, well, like I said, this is a separate problem. It's not a problem. It's a separate skill to learn. And typically, the best way to get past translating all the time, it usually tells me that the person who has this problem doesn't use the language a lot when they're not translating. Like there's not a lot of situations where you already know what's going to happen. So you already know the vocabulary. So, right? Like if you already know what's going to happen in the situation, then you already know the words. You've already been through this situation before, then you already know the words. And it's more like a reflex. And instead of a process of translating and thinking, because it's not a new situation, you already have an answer, you already have the reaction that works. So somebody says something to you in this situation, you remember it and you can just do it. But if you haven't been in that situation for a long time or never, then it can be difficult. Now you need to understand something new and translate some words. So yeah. Great. Let's go to another question here. Kris, do you tend to use American idioms in daily conversation? Yeah, we use idioms in daily conversation. I don't think in every sentence, not all the time, but I think in a typical day, I probably do use at least one idiom in a conversation, in a regular conversation, because I joke around a lot and I am an English teacher. So I try to use a double entendre where a word has two meanings, but both of these meanings could be correct in this situation. Or there's some jokes that people talk about today. They're called dad jokes. They're jokes that are not funny, basically. I like to say those jokes. But you know that because you watch me in my videos, so you know that I tell lots of jokes that aren't funny. Okay, here's another comment. You're number one. Kris, I joined your course last year. It was amazing. I learned a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Jacob says, greetings from Armenia. It's so exciting to listen to your lessons. Thank you so much. Well, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thanks for joining this live call. So here's what I'm going to do now. Oh, I can't forget Instagram over here. Instagram's its own little world that doesn't connect to everything else. So let's see. Let me take a question from Instagram. Okay. Here's one. You show that you speak fluently, but no, you can't do that. Interesting comment. So maybe, I'm not sure what this is in reference to, but maybe what this person is asking is about, when you have this reflex to a situation in English, when you are able to speak fluently, maybe it looks like you speak fluently, but you don't really, right? But you don't really speak fluently. It's just the reflex. So yes, but I think a lot of people forget about this step of building up this reflex. A reflex is like if you go to the doctor and the doctor hits your knee and your leg goes up, right? This is like a reflex. So this is what I'm talking about. And I think a lot of people forget that there's this stage, there's this step in learning the language. Like you study the words, you try to remember stuff, and then you go and use it in a situation, but it's your first time using it in that situation. So it's completely new to you. Like you learned how to say it, you learned how to pronounce it, you learned how to use it in grammar. But now somebody in real life is using it. How do you do it? Right? And so now you're like sitting there thinking and there's like steam coming out of our ears, like we're about to explode. And we're trying to, add all the numbers together and where's the ending supposed to be and what's the, right? And it takes a long time to think, to say something simple. And then after that, we know that in all of these situations where this thing happens, we already found the answer for that. So we don't have to go through this big, hard process anymore. And so it's like a reflex, right? So there's good things and bad things about this about this reflex. One of the good things about the reflex is that it means that you speak faster, right? So you're moving faster, you're understanding faster. Other people think that you're moving faster, right? So you're not sitting there and taking a long time to do that. But the bad side of the reflex stage of developing these reflexes is that sometimes people never grow out of it, right? So you might get stuck. You might get stuck doing it that way, even though you don't have to do it that way. So a good example of this is when someone says hello to you, when someone says hello, and you say hello. Now, that's okay, right? You can do that. But I've met a lot of people who they developed a reflex. Every type of hello that a person says, like I might say, hey, or hi, or howdy, or something else, right? Or what's up, or how's it going? And I might say all of these different things, but that person will just always say hello, hello, hello. They have a hello reflex. Some of you who are watching today might also have a hello reflex. Think about it. How many different ways do you say hello usually when a person speaks with you, when a person greets you, when they say hello or hi or hey or what's up? Like, what do you think? How many ways do you do this? Most people who are learning English only do this in one or maybe two different ways because they've developed this easy solution, this easy answer that they can always say. And that's good, right? That's good because it makes it fast. So like you might not even think that you need to speak English, and you go somewhere and you walk in the room and a person's speaking English to you and they're like, hey there, how are you? And you weren't thinking in English before, but you can very quickly say, hello. You have this reflex. So yes, reflex is not fluent, right? You're absolutely right. And there is this step between, but you can develop the reflex and use the good side of this. And just always remember that you have to keep learning because sometimes there's many different ways to do it. And another good rule to learn is that if there's more than one way to do it, then people usually will change how they do it sometimes, right? Like there will be some small reasons when someone uses a different word. So like if we say hello, that's more formal. So it sounds very like official. I don't ever say hello to people, I think. I only say hi, hey, how are you doing? How's it going? What's new? What's happening? What's up? Yeah. All right, let's go take another question. So, okay, the big topic for today is how to improve your spoken English. And these are all really good small pieces that we're talking about today. We talked about listening, improving listening, and how listening is connected to writing and speaking. We talked about just now this reflex that we can develop that can help us speak faster or like master one situation first and learn an answer there so that it becomes easier, right? Because there's really not that many situations in life if you really think about it. I mean, we don't do that many different things. You can count all of them. So you can learn answers to all of them. Great. So someone in the comments says, please guys, only write in English. We don't understand what you're writing. I agree. Right now we are going to practice English. I love learning other languages too. Just studying languages in general. English is just a tool. English is just an instrument that we use to get some other things that we want, right? Like some people say they learn English for fun, but really it's to communicate, to make some kind of connection. And then that should give you some good things in your life, right? You should get some kind of benefit from that. That's why you should learn English. So maybe the thing you want to get out of it is business. Maybe the thing you want to get out of it is a relationship, or you just want to meet people, or just new opportunities and you don't even know what those are yet, but you want to get something out of studying English. So you need to have a goal, right? And so that means that you can identify specific situations that will happen in your life, and you can prepare for those situations linguistically. You can practice them, and the more that you go and actually speak with people in that area, the better you'll be at speaking in English and about that topic, right? So it doesn't, developing your knowledge of a topic and developing your knowledge of English can happen at the same time. Okay, great. So right now, I want to invite a few people to join us live. Now on Instagram, you won't be able to see them live on the screen, but if you joined from LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook, then you'll see the link. The link will pop up in the comments right now, and you can click the link and you can join. And you can ask your question live, face to face with me. So, are you ready? Only the first 10 people are able to join. It's just the limit of my system. So if you're watching from YouTube, from Facebook, or from LinkedIn, I'm going to post a comment in the comments right now. I'm going to post the link. The first 10 people who get in, they get in, and we're going to talk live, and I'll answer some questions. All right, there we go. I've just posted the link. And you know what? All right, we'll wait for a few people to join. And I'm going to post this link over here too. Okay. So let's see some other questions that are coming in right now. Abdo is here live with me. Hello.
Yes. Hello, Kris. Nice to see you.
Great to see you too.
Yes.
So do you have any questions for today, or?
So the topic today is about how to improve your spoken English.
Yeah.
So I think, in my opinion, we have to listen first if we want to improve our spoken English. I mean, we must have a lot of inputs. I'm talking about vocabulary, sentences, idioms. First step of learning any language, I think, is to listen correctly. And if you improve your listening skills, then you have to improve your speaking skills. So I think you have to practice for listening, and then maybe after, I'm not sure about the period time, but I think for me specifically, I need 6 months before I join everyday English, only for improving my listening skills. I listen to thousands of videos, many thousands of videos for English tips and tricks, grammar, and also pronunciation. So also I think I have to spend 3 hours at least on a daily basis for maybe 2 years if I want to speak in a professional way. So we need that in our sustainable memory, so we can't forget it, and also we can speak spontaneously. We need time. We need every day to practice.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Okay, I see we have a few other people who have joined us now. So I want to welcome everybody who's joining us live here. And we've also got Jubate. Jubate.
Hi,
Hey, where are you from?
I come from Guinea-Conakry, but I'm living now in Morocco.
You come from Trinidad.
Guinea-Conakry, West Africa. Guinea-Conakry.
Conakry.
Yeah, Guinea-Conakry.
Okay, Cool. And you're living in Morocco now.
Yeah.
So is your first language French?
Yeah, we speak French, but there is a lot of language, but it is national. It is not international.
Uh-huh.
But we study French in our school.
Great.
But me, I decided to speak English. I love so much English, you know. But here there is no one to practice, and I memorize a lot of words, but finally I forget it because I don't use it.
I understand.
Yeah. And I have a question.
Yeah, great.
When you speak, I understand you very much, so much. But if I watch TV, I'm confused. I I really wanna say I understand less what they say. I wanna know what is the problem. You know, but I really wanna speak English fluently.
Okay, so I think that I think that first of all, a lot of people when they're speaking their native language themselves, when they don't think about other people from other places understanding them, right? They only think about the people from their country understanding them, and so many people who are on TV, they try to speak clearly, but we have a special word in English. It's to enunciate. To enunciate. It means to say every sound of the word. And so if we can't understand the person, if they don't speak clearly, we could ask them to enunciate. It means like to say all of the say all of the sounds. So when a person speaks naturally, then they don't say all the sounds and they connect sounds, and it can be difficult to understand them. I'm sure you understand. For me, that's that many people who speak French, it sounds like this to me. Yeah. It's hard to understand where some words stop and start, and because of the sounds.
I see.
But also understand that I'm like a professional teacher. So I try to speak very clearly, and I try to use words that many people will understand.
Oh, okay. What I have to do, what I should to do to understand them. I really want to understand them, honestly.
Uh-huh. You want to understand people on the news.
Yeah, I watch TV from America. You know, I love so much accent America. It is so easy for me to understand.
Uh-huh.
But if I listen to music, rap, you know, I ask myself, what is this English? I don't understand. You know?
Yeah.
So I want to know what I should to do to understand them.
You should just study that type of slang, or study that type of group of people who use those kinds of words. Like, for example, rappers. There's lots of other vocabulary that rappers might use that some, like, old American people don't understand at all. They just completely don't understand what that means.
Oh, okay.
So it's slang.
It is not real English.
It's real English for the people who use it, right? I'm sure in your country you know that, like, there's probably a local language or many local languages, and then there's French. And so some people, when they speak French, they use some local words and French. And
Yes.
if a person from France comes to your country, then this person might not understand everything that they're saying.
You're right. Yeah.
So
I see.
yeah.
I see.
Cool. Thanks a lot for the chat. We have
Thanks.
Veronica is with us too. Hi, Veronica.
Hi, Kris.
Where are you from?
Oh, I'm from Ghana, but now I live in US, New York, Bronx.
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I've
do
been
you like
watching since I was in Ghana because I knew one day I'll be in US, so I have to study American accents before I come here, and I'll start school September. So I just want to join the live chat with you and have a live conversation with you.
Very cool. And
Mm.
do you like living in New York?
Yeah, it's been 3 months since I came here, so far it's cool living here.
Uh-huh. What do you
Mm.
do?
Oh, for now, I've started working, but I'll go to school September, so I'm waiting. Yeah,
Uh-huh. So
yeah.
you're which university or which college?
Oh, Hostels Community College, offering
Hostel.
nursing. Yeah,
Uh-huh. Cool.
yeah, yeah.
Very cool. Well, do you have any questions that you'd like to ask today?
Okay, my question is most of the times when speaking with the American, the native speakers, I just don't understand what they are trying to say. I have to say sorry, sorry many times so that I get what they are telling me. They speak so fast and I don't know what to do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So yeah, I think the most important thing to do in this situation, learn many different ways to say, please repeat, say it
oh,
again. This is the
okay.
first step, right?
Yeah.
So we can be more creative about it and be funny about it. Oh, it's so embarrassing, but I don't understand you still.
Oh my
Could you
goodness.
say it another way?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, here's another thing to think about too. In some situations, when it's a formal situation, then the native speaking person, they think that they are being more polite. They think that they're being nice and respectful when they use these big words, and um, they use these big words, and they speak very indirectly.
Okay.
Right? Like, excuse me, would it be possible for you to please help me with this item right here if you have a moment? Right?
Oh,
They don't need to say all this. They just say, can you help me with this? Right?
yeah.
So but for them, it shows that they're being respectful for them, even though it's difficult for us to understand, like, why are you saying all these different words? And so probably this happens more for you in formal situations, and it just means that there's some kinds of formal language that we should use. Like for work, what do you do?
Oh, I work at a Case Town. They sell case stuff, so I just help them. I help customers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I help customers when they are when shopping. Yeah, I help them. Yeah.
Okay. Another thing to think about is that you're in New York.
Mm-hmm.
You're working at this big shop in New York. There's people from all over the world probably who are coming to this
Yeah.
shop. So it's not only American people probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and then if they are American people, there's a lot of different American accents too. So people in New York say some things differently than people in other places too.
Yeah. It's true. Mhm.
So
Thank you.
even in the Bronx and in Brooklyn, there's like a different accent.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I know that that probably doesn't really help you solve this problem, but you can identify these situations as the formal situations that, like, if you're interacting with a customer in the shop, then probably there's some different words they might use about a sale or a discount or right, there's something they might use about like a tag or a price or a cost or an amount, or so they might use all of these different kinds of words.
Yeah.
So we should just study more about that specific, about what we're doing, basically. Study more about that, the words connected to that. You know what would be really good for you to use to find a book called a thesaurus. Maybe you've heard of this before.
No.
Thesaurus. I've just written it in the chat. Yeah, it's a book of words that have similar meanings.
Okay.
A book of synonyms, and so you can look up a word like price, and it will tell you 10 other words that are similar to price. And this kind of book, I think, is helpful because you can start to see like what's the difference when why did someone use this word or this word, or right?
Okay, thank you.
Awesome, thank you so much. Okay, let's see. I see we have Frau with us also. Hello. Rola?
Hi. Yeah, correct.
Hi, where are you
Hi from
joining
Germany.
us from?
From Germany.
From Germany. Okay, great. And what do you do?
I've just finished my study, master degree, and then came the pandemic, and I decided to start learning English. So I started learning English a few months ago, and I really see improvement in my English. I just want to continue. So I'm really searching for good course where I can practice English on a daily basis, and I've just come across your course. But to be honest, it's a little bit pricey, so I'm thinking about it.
Okay, cool. So maybe you have a question that you'd like to ask now.
At the moment, not really. At the moment, not really. But yeah, I was thinking about the phrasal verbs, if it's possible to learn them in your course, because as far as I know, every single verb in English has phrasal verb, and it's really common in spoken English. And in order to understand English, yeah, more properly, or to understand English even more without ever being to English-speaking country. So I think it's really important to know all these phrasal verbs, maybe not all of them, but yeah, a lot of them.
I think you're right.
Yeah. I personally don't have a big problem when it comes to grammar.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as I said, I need to practice English on a daily basis, because here in Germany, the people don't really speak English, not at all. So it's really a bigger problem, and I don't have the opportunity or the chance, maybe in the near future, like to go to English-speaking country and to practice my English. So I really need your course, maybe. So I'm thinking about it. If you can say anything about your course, then I will be thankful. If you cannot, not the proper time, then yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Let's talk about phrasal verbs, though. So the course, the English Everyday course, it's 24/7. You can join anytime and have speaking practice. We have different topics. Some topics are about phrasal verbs. Some are not about phrasal verbs. But let's talk about phrasal verbs right now. So yes, like you said, phrasal verbs is a really important part of spoken English. So I think this is a part of our lesson today. When we're learning phrasal verbs, the mistake that most people make is they try to think of all of the verbs and then add something onto the verb. And every time I add something to the verb, it changes. Instead, we should be looking at these little words that we add. And if we can understand these words that we can add to any verb, then it'll be a lot easier to understand all phrasal verbs. For example, when we use up, for example, wake up, this is like a direction. So this is one side of phrasal verbs, is a directional meaning of the word, right? So wake up, it's very easy. Stand up, look up. But sometimes words like look up could also have a metaphoric meaning, a metaphor. It's not a direct meaning. So, for example, look something up. It means to find the answer in a database or find the answer in the dictionary.
Yeah.
Like, for example, what time does the film start at the cinema? I don't know. I will go online and look it up. So
I think a pronunciation is also a big topic. Like pronunciation is really it matters because it's not only important like to understand native speakers or to understand the English language in general, but also it's really important and to be understood.
yes,
So I think I need to work on my pronunciation, and I need to know at which level I am currently at the moment. So
from speaking with you right now, I can say that you're probably a high intermediate level. So either intermediate or upper intermediate. So with like B1, B2.
Mhm.
That's what I would say
Yeah,
from talking now. But about pronunciation, so in our course, English Every Day, we have 4 types of lessons. We have every lesson is a speaking lesson. So we have pronunciation speaking lessons. We have grammar speaking lessons, vocabulary speaking lessons, and speaking lessons.
interesting. That's really interesting. That sounds interesting.
But every lesson is a speaking lesson. That's really important for in our program. And
we will have the opportunity to speak, you mean, during the class?
Like right now.
Enough time. Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's basically the same as now, but not live in front of 500 people.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Speaking about phrasal verbs and using up. So there's a good example of when it's not a direction. Like, for example, there's a verb to eat up, to eat something up. And so one of the meanings is like to start eating or to eat more or eat faster. For example, you go to someone's house as a guest, you sit at the table, they put some food in front of you at the table, and you're a good guest. You wait for other people, right? You wait before you eat. But they look at you and they say, "Oh, don't wait, eat up. Eat up." Eat up means start eating or eat faster or eat more. The same with drink up. You're at a bar and the bar is closing and you have a new drink. And your friend says, "Drink up." The bar is closing. So this is one way that the word up means to start something or to do it more or faster. And the same with like hurry up, right? Hurry means go faster. So hurry up means start going faster or go faster, faster. Right? So this is just adding up to this word. Now, the word up has many different meanings that it could have with different verbs, but we can learn all of those meanings of up and down and around. And when we learn those meanings, then we can use them with thousands of verbs. So it's easier to learn 100 or 200 meanings of these small words instead of thousands of meanings of different verbs, right? Awesome. Let's see. We have someone else here. Mohammed Ibrahim.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks.
Great. So where are you calling from today?
From Egypt.
Egypt?
Yeah.
Which city? Cairo?
Not Cairo at all. It's actually not a popular city. It's called Kena. It's in the south.
Okay.
It's not popular. First of all, when I speak English, I speak good English. I speak fluently and I speak with a good accent, I think. But when I speak with friends or people my age, then when I take like an exam or something formal, there is a problem. I do not speak I do not speak like I used to do with my friends. I do not know why, but yeah, and this is a huge problem for me. And one of the other problems is you mentioned in your live, it's called the reflex or something like this,
Yeah.
that the same words I say the same words all of the time. For example, hello, hello, hello. I stick to these words, or maybe sometimes I say what's up. Yeah, but I do not focus on getting different vocabulary, and I think this is a huge problem when it comes to formal speaking. But when speaking with friends, I do not even consider thinking of new vocabulary. uh, and that's it. That's my question. So how can I how is it really a problem, and if it is a problem, how can I solve it?
Great, great, great. Thank you. So first of all, I have to say congratulations to you because
Thanks.
you understand some things about pronunciation that many people don't, and you speak very clearly, fluently. Like
Thanks.
you probably listen to a lot of American music.
Well, I used to, but right now, because of studies, I do not listen. Actually, I do not listen to music. Actually, like just now, it is 2:30 o'clock now. At 2 o'clock, I applied for the British Council. Applied
British
and took a
Council.
yeah, yeah, and took the exam. It's not an exam. It's like to determine my level, and
Uh-huh.
then they said they'll contact me and fill me in with the details later.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that you have a really, really, you've done a lot of good work so far. You have a really good base of like fluent expression. You know, when you speak, it's very clear, and you
Thanks.
understand the basic stuff. So the problem, right, like you've mentioned, the problem will be formal, more formal language, because you have to learn to separate the stuff that you already learned, the slang, the the basic like changes in pronunciation that someone can say to sound like they're the pronunciation things that you do when you speak English to sound more natural. Uh, those are great, but yeah, they don't teach you the formal language. So on tests, exams, you still need to study that formal language. So you need to find something that is going to be as interesting to you that uses formal language as the old stuff that you used to do that helped you get to where you are now. That stuff was very interesting to you. That's how you were able to spend so much time and
Yeah,
copy it so well.
yeah, I like playing games with my friends while
Uh-huh.
speaking English. This stuff. Then, can you like suggest something that can be interesting?
So what do you do now? You study at university?
Not university, man. I'm so young. I'm 15.
Oh, you're only 15? Wow.
Yeah.
Um, so okay, so you're still studying. I don't know. What do you want to do after school?
Well, I haven't decided yet, but I'm pretty sure that English will really be useful in my future career. So, like,
What does your dad do, or someone in your family?
he's a lawyer. My dad is a lawyer, but I would prefer if I had something that involves technology more, yeah, programming. I like programming, and I program using Python.
Okay.
So yeah, I believe also English will be so useful in any career, any future career. So that's why I want to learn English, and I want to be able to speak the formal English during the exams.
Right.
And yeah, and can you please suggest something? And my question is, can you please suggest something more interesting that I can spend my time on, and it also teaches me the real English, the formal English, not the one I use while speaking with friends.
I think you should read newspapers or online newspapers in English.
Yeah.
I think this will help with formal language first. I think that you see a lot of programmers, they still don't use a lot of formal English. But I would study some English book specifically for English students that teaches professional skills, like a book about email English or phone English, or I would study those, honestly,
Oh,
because that's the
okay.
stuff that you're not going to use very often with the real people who you're meeting, but you will use that kind of language on a test.
Okay. What were they called again? Email or phone book?
Yeah,
Email
just
English?
if you just search for like email English textbook, or
Okay.
something like this, or phone English textbook. There, I think Cambridge University Press has some good books, and Oxford Press. It should be easy to find.
Okay.
But yeah, I would focus on formal English and professional. Like you're so young, so it's probably not that interesting to you right now. But later, later it's the formal English that becomes important if you want to like have a high position in a
So you
company.
think it's too early for me to study it?
I just don't know if you'll enjoy it.
Well, it's not about enjoying. I can also work. So yeah, it doesn't always have to be enjoying.
Then yeah, I would study more formal English. Like, exam preparation books also would be good for your level, like to show you that there's a lot of stuff that you still have to learn, on the formal English side. Okay, awesome. Thanks a lot. Okay, let's see. Thank you everyone who joined us live today. That's going to be it for now. That's the end of our live lesson today, but we'll be back again next week, and I'll be answering more questions from the comments. I see lots of people wrote there and are upset that I didn't answer this time. We'll answer next time, definitely. So thank you everybody, and thank you everyone on Instagram also. And I will see everybody very soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Bye, Kris. Bye, everyone.